And we're back with the Vacuous perspective. I'm Val.
You
I'm
are.
always joined by my co-host Nate.
You
Nate,
are
how's things?
always joined by me. I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, good man, good.
Did you hear about King Carey at the Crown in Burswood?
Oh no.
I literally only just saw this. I don't know if I've been under a rock all day.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. Yeah, so from what I understand, banned from the premises.
Yeah, 2-year ban.
2-year ban.
So let me get this right. This is what I understand. A bag of white powder slipped out of his pocket onto the gaming table.
Onto the table, was it?
Yeah. And
Okay.
the croupier sort of, I don't know, dogged him in.
Notion.
Activated some kind of alarm or something.
Right.
But Carey reckons it wasn't an illegal substance.
No, he's saying it's some sort of crushed up painkiller or something, or what?
Yeah, some crushed up anti-inflammatory. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
anti-inflammatory, right.
He took with dinner. Very convenient.
Yeah.
They said it wasn't a good look. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, they always say that, don't they? It's not a good look.
He said he offered it up, that he had done nothing wrong. He said, you can take it, you can, you know, and then they didn't. And he says, and we just went our separate ways.
Yeah. See you later.
He's done a few things I didn't realise until I saw the article. Like, I know that he's always shrouded in controversy. Listen to this rap sheet, right?
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know some of the rap sheet, but yeah, lay it on me.
And I haven't. Obviously, it's published. I'm sure it's legit. Gary's been involved in a series of controversies in his personal life, including a charge of the indecent assault of a woman in '96.
Yeah.
Having an affair with his teammate Anthony Stevens' wife.
Yep.
An arrest for breaking a wine glass in an ex-fiance's face in Miami.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Not a good look. Terrible look.
Bad looks.
I didn't know about that one. That was 2007. And assaulting officers whilst resisting arrest in 2008.
Yeah.
They don't say what he was resisting arrest for, though. You would have thought that's a thing.
Yeah, because he was arrested. Or was because
what was he getting arrested for?
You have to be arrested to be resisting arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone just remembers the Stevenson thing, right?
Yeah.
And the game that happened after when he played for North Melbourne. Or he played for Adelaide against North Melbourne. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, in Adelaide.
Which
actually doesn't really change too much.
Yeah.
Gives him a little bit of moral support, I guess.
And I guess everyone just wanted to line him up that day. And
hey, that was fascinating. I was pumped for that game. They went pretty hard at him, but they were fair. I thought they were quite fair with him.
Oh, yeah, at some points. I mean, there were just, people getting charged after the play's over, but that happens sometimes in normal play.
Well, I just thought Glenn Archer was going to go out there with a shotty.
Yeah. Well,
just kill him. Like, I didn't think he was going to be fair at all, but they just went really hard at him and faked a bit of a punch, made him look like, tried to make him look like a pussy.
Yeah. But from Carey's perspective, you're thinking these guys are out to kill me today,
Oh, he wouldn't have slept well the night before.
Yeah. I wonder who won. Who won the game? Does anyone know?
Adelaide won, I'm pretty sure.
Adelaide won. Speaking of the win, the big win.
Big dubs.
How did the Fremantle Dockers come from 40-something points behind to win that game?
I've seen a couple of highlights, but I didn't watch the game or anything. So I've got no idea. Did you see it?
Well, it was on in the background and you couldn't help but have it on, because once it was close, it was on. You know what I mean? It's back on.
Yeah, they were getting pumped. What was it, like 41-1 or something like that? Something
if
like
they had one goal, yeah, they might have had a goal. I don't know.
Well, then I heard they missed one when it was 39-1. Freo had a shot directly in front, apparently unmissable, and he missed it.
Oh no, you can't miss those.
Can't miss that. I've done that. I've ran into an open goal and missed it.
Yeah, you've done that?
Yeah.
It's not your highlight reel, but
it wasn't in my highlight reel. Didn't kick a lot of goals. You can tell why.
Right. So you're not a goal kicker. Where did you play then?
Well, mainly wing and halfback flank, and sometimes in the middle.
Yeah, but if you got an open goal ahead of me, I'm kicking the goal.
I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with the ball and the goals. I don't understand.
Well, you just kick it. You kick it at them. That's a good start. Where did you kick it?
Away from them.
What do you mean? Did you not even
I
get
think I
through
hit the post.
big...
I think I hit the post.
Which post? The goal post?
The goal post, yeah.
Okay. How close were you?
Well, I could have just run it right up to the line and booted it, I think.
Yeah, okay.
From memory. And I kicked it from about 5 meters out, and I think I just rushed it. You have like a rush of blood. This is what I mean. I don't kick a lot of goals. I know this sounds silly. I just rushed the kick, thinking the goals are right there. I can't go wrong. What I need to do is just not panic, run it in. I can't remember the exact situation, but I'm pretty sure I could have just run it in.
Yeah, and just given it a little toe poke at the end.
I think I was a little bit overconfident.
You were probably battling with the concept of maybe you were going to run it all the way in. You can't do that. It's against the rules.
Don't even give me any outs on that one. I just fucked it. I'm trying to swear less, so pull me up on that when I do.
Oh,
what could I have said instead? What could I have done?
He's fucked it.
He shit it. I didn't shit it in at all. I just there's no other good words I could put there. I stuffed up.
It's so funny, man, the Australian language, and it'll come up again and again. But have you ever heard the phrase shat it in?
Oh, yeah.
So someone wins by a big margin. Oh, yeah, they shat it in. What does that mean? What are we saying there? Shat it in. I don't know why I've just fixated on that, but
I don't.
We do that all the time.
Australians swear very casually. Yeah. And Americans swear more seriously. Like their emphasis is on the swear word.
Yeah, whereas ours is more... It's just part of the sentence.
Yeah, it's kind of more of an adjective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the Freo game. I was on the Bibbulmun track.
The what?
The Bibbulmun track. It's a track. It's a 1,000 kilometre track from basically Kalamunda down to Albany.
Yeah, right. You were just on the track.
I was on the track. Yeah, I just did the first. Well, I was trying to do the first 50K of it, and overnight camping. It's sort of go through national parks, and it's quite nice.
Yeah.
It's better more towards Albany. That's what it's really renowned for, but obviously driving down there is a bit more of an effort.
So you drive down somewhere, then you'd ride on the Bibbulmun track.
Or you walk it. The Bibbulmun track is the walking one. But I was giving some gear a test run because I'm prepping for the Stirling Range Ridge Walk, which is...
So hang on. So we're walking now. Hang on.
I'm walking now. I'm
walking now.
I'm hiking.
And no bikesies?
No, you can... There's a parallel track called the Mundabiddi Trail that is for bikes. That loosely follows the Bibbulmun track.
Right. But you're not doing the bike though. You're walking it.
Yeah, I'm walksies. So the reason being, on 1 October, I'm doing this Stirling Range Ridge Walk, obviously down in the Stirling Ranges.
Yep.
Also sort of towards Albany way. But I haven't done an overnight hiking trip before, so I've never walked in a tent, a sleeping bag.
Oh, you've never
water and food and stuff like that.
Right. So it's long enough so that you need to stay somewhere in between.
Yes. So this one, yeah, exactly. So the Stirling Range Ridge Walk is only... Some really efficient people can do it in one day, but you have to start at 4 a.m. and you finish at 10 p.m, something like that. So you break it up over 2 days. Experience.
If you get to have a bit of a tent stay, you're going to hang out for a bit in the tent.
That's the fun of it, right? That's the whole... That's the point. Although on this one, so I stayed in a tent on Saturday night, but there's caves you camp in on the ridge walk.
Okay.
So I'm pretty pumped for that. But I don't know. I've read about where they are and which peaks they're sort of, but you have to kind of find them yourself. But Anyway, about the Bibbman track very quickly. So I didn't bring a map or anything because I just underestimated the Bibbman track. I was like, it's quite well signposted, I believe.
It's tracked.
It's tracked. And this part from Kalamunda is even better signposted because you get a lot of day walkers from Perth that just, pop up there.
Yep.
So I was trying to do, 50, I think it was about 50, it's close to 60 kilometres basically in over 2 days. And so I started with my mate about 12:30 on Saturday, and we had to walk 32 Ks, which is a fair bit, but in my mind, I've never done hiking so much, but in my mind, I know how fast I can walk.
Yeah. It's different, obviously, terrain, but
yes.
Yeah, distance-wise, yeah.
We had done some calculations. We were like, we'll get there pretty much at sunset. And we were just powering the whole time. And we were, slower than we thought. And, the terrain is way more up and down than we thought it would be.
Interesting. Yeah, right.
So we arrived in the dark. That's fine. That's fine. But
you arrived in the dark? Wasn't that like, how did you know you arrived? You were meant to get to a spot, I imagine, like a designated ground?
Yeah. We knew approximately how much distance we had to go before the different that they have huts that have, like, some people sleep in the huts, but they also have camping areas, like nice flat areas that you can camp around them. So we just used the table and they've set up table and chairs there, and they also have a rainwater tank and a long drop toilet.
Bloody living the life of luxury. Yeah.
So we get there in the dark. That's fine. It was threatening to rain the whole time, but it didn't. Somehow I just fell over at one point. I just needed to turn right, and my foot is kind of clayey, the surface. And I don't know what happened. The next thing I know, I'm just free falling.
Oh my God.
And because you've got the big pack on, I was just like a big sack of potatoes. Yeah, I just landed right on my shoulder. Luckily I didn't hurt myself. I did land quite heavily. I don't really know exactly how that transpired.
Adrenaline's pumping,
Yeah, I turted it. It's a bit like me with the running to the open goal. I messed up just turning right. That's all I had to do. And then, but day 2, right? So I didn't have a map, but my mate did buy some kind of map on his phone, so you can sort of see GPS where you are in relation to the track, but it doesn't have the huts marked on it. And so we leave before it is completely dark on Sunday morning. So it's 5:45. And we had to do that because we were getting picked up by my girlfriend at a set location, because we didn't know if we'd have reception or not, at 11 a.m. And then we realised during the night that we're slower than we're expecting, and we were really sore. Actually, I was way sorer than I thought I was going to be. And then we do about, I don't know, we're just gas bagging. We're just chatting the whole time, right, having a great time. And there's supposed to be markers every 500 metres on the track. That's what they say. If you haven't seen a marker in 500 metres, maybe either go back to find the marker or just start keeping in mind, if you haven't seen one, that you should be looking for one. And the cloud cover was really thick. I don't know if you remember on the weekend, you couldn't actually see where the sun is, which is quite good for directional purposes. But we weren't thinking too much of it. We thought we were on the track because we were at one stage. And then after a while, I said to him, I was like, man, I haven't seen a marker in a mile, but we good? He's like, yeah, I saw one about a K back. We're good. So we keep walking.
Yeah, okay.
And then we get to a T junction and there's no markers. So that's when you know you've messed up. So we think, oh, okay, get the map out, gets his phone out. And it was all very confusing for two people who should know how to use a map, but it was weird. But something was up. We were like, what is, I said, look, he goes, oh, no, we can take this shortcut, blah, blah. So no, let's just go the fastest way back to the track, and then we can orientate ourselves, because it just something seemed wrong. So it was about 1.4 Ks back to the track. And we thought, geez, 1.4 Ks is a bit embarrassing. And then we get back on the track and we realize we need to be heading south. So we're walking south for about 400 meters. It's now 8 o'clock in the morning. And we walk past the marker for the campsite that we had left from in the morning.
Oh, no.
And my mind blew. We'd just done a full circle.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know it.
Nah, you were lost.
We were completely lost. We completely turded it.
How did you find the OG spot? That's pretty impressive. You just followed the track, right? But the wrong track.
No, well, there's other tracks as well out there, and we just missed. We were on the right track, and then you must turn. At one point, there's a right you need to take to turn off it, and we were obviously gas bagging, not paying attention, and we kept walking, and then we just assumed because we were on the right track and there was no obvious deviations from it. You just keep walking. We're just marching. So we were on the wrong track for about 5K, but it was the whole time it was looping around. We didn't know it. So then when we got lost, we were actually behind, and we just decided to go as quickly back to the trail as we could. We were actually behind where we started. We didn't know. So then we kept going south and we passed it. Yeah, so that was really embarrassing.
When you arrived did you arrive at the same point at one point and go, no, this is where we went wrong, this way? How did that work?
We did a huge loop. So
yeah,
we
I know.
And then you got back to the campsite.
Second time, when you went for it, the second go, take two.
Yeah.
You know where you went wrong?
Well, okay. So we didn't have enough time, water, or supplies to do what we had planned to do. So we had to walk out the quickest way possible. So we walked back the way we came to Mundaring Weir, which was about 15 k's behind us. And there we messaged the girlfriend, just said, change of plans. We got lost, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so that's embarrassing because we're doing, the Stirling Range Ridge Walk, as I said. This was the prep for it. We're doing that in 3 weeks, and that's rated.
It's a big event?
It's not an event as such, but it's a big event for me, but it's not like
it's not heaps of people are doing it.
No. It's rated as the hardest hike in WA, and it's the 6th hardest in Australia.
Okay. Piece of cake, right?
Well, we'll see. So I've got the GPX file on my GPS watch, and I'm going to bring a compass, and I'm going to have a map.
Oh, we're doing all 3.
Yeah, I'm going all guns blazing on this one.
Can you people did this with horses and stuff,
Yeah, right.
Just walking around, getting around. Those original trails were made by people walking them enough for them to become.
Exactly. The Biberman Trail is actually a collection of Aboriginal tracks down through that part of the world. That's what my understanding is of it. I don't know how closely you follow them now, but it's
pretty cool.
Yeah, but this one, the Ridge Walk, is an unmarked cross-country bushwalk with no designated trail. So you're bushwhacking for some of it.
Yep. Okay. Give me the excitement, Yeah,
so I'm pretty pumped for that. That one's 25K. So it's
shorter. This one, sorry, the Rangers one is when you're going to have to get a bit of hack and slash on. Is that right?
Yeah. That's the serious one.
It's part of the difficulty, right?
Mm-hmm. And I read some people's reviews of it, and they sound pretty gnarly. People say that they were following the GPX file, which is basically just the GPS of the route. And they said next thing they know, they're pretty much rock climbing.
Okay.
With a pack on, so that sounds fun.
What a shining review. I just went out for a nice walk, ended up being a rock climbing.
Yeah, so I'm expecting some good stories from that one.
And is that an all day thing as well, obviously? That would be
overnighter. Yeah. So we start crack of dawn on the Saturday and trying to really break the back of it that first day. So we leave ourselves not too much.
It's exciting. You know what I find interesting is if you asked, an American or something, hey, would you go and walk 50 odd Ks in the Australian, wilderness, right?
Yeah.
They're going to say you're going to die, right? You're dead. Like, there's so many things out there that'll get you, right?
Yeah, they might think that.
But I think the same about America, because you said you were going to camp in a cave, right?
Yeah.
Camping in a cave in America, that's bears, that's wolves, That's,
no way, right?
No way. If you said, hey, man, we're going to somewhere in America, we're going to go stay in a cave, I'd be like, bro, I'm not doing that because bears, big bears.
Yeah, I would much rather spiders, snakes than wolves and bears.
Yeah, and they've got other things too, like cougars and stuff, right? They've got some cougars.
Yeah, they do, right? Cougars, is that? Yeah, cougars and cougars.
Is there another one?
I was thinking
Probably.
of something else. Yeah,
They've got heaps of deadly shit over there, but we get put shit on over here because of the great whites and the spiders and the snakes.
Yeah, I mean, how many snakes have you seen? I don't know. I think we've talked about this before. I've seen very few. Very few.
One. One, maybe two if I'm lucky.
Yeah,
but on the weekend, I went down south to see the olds. It was Father's Day, and I'm hanging out on the deck, like on the lounge room floor with my dog.
Yeah,
just having a bit of a love, and I look down at my sleeve, and there's a big spider on the end of my sleeve, like just chilling on the end of my sleeve. And I went, oh no. So of course, what do? I'm a calm guy. I'm a nice calm guy. I'm just gonna lightly brush it off. And when that failed, because I went brush, and then just took the jacket off. Just took the jacket off and threw it on the ground, and then got really scared to wear my jacket for the rest of the day. But it's the fact that they never found a body of the spider,
You were looking for a body? Never came across.
I didn't want to find a body. I would have preferred to, even just to see the spider is no longer in my jacket would be enough. Just to know that it's not in my jacket anymore.
You can't let it get away like that. You had it.
I'm not trying to murder the spiders.
No. But you lost a visual on it.
I had a visual.
You lost the visual. You had the visual. You lost the visual.
I tried to disengage. I'm guessing it wanted to disengage from me at that time as well. If I was to go inside the spider's brain, it's going, holy shit.
It was probably not very happy with you at all.
What is this guy doing kind of thing? I think I'm going to have to retreat. I'm not going to wave goodbye, I'm not going to sit on the ground and wave goodbye. I'm going to bounce. There was no closure,
No, your relationship did not end the way. Look, you had a great thing going. It was sitting on your arm. You're all having a good time, right?
Yeah, I fucked it.
The next thing you know, you're throwing your clothes around you're panicking. You're panicking.
I was cool, calm, and collected.
Just bring it together. Next time you see a spider, you know what to do.
Well, see, I didn't really get a good look at it because as soon as you see the spider, the brain kicks into get the spider off me mode.
Survival.
So I was looking for it to see if it had a red back, right? Because it doesn't matter, if you live in Australia.
The angry ones,
You're going to see redbacks in Australia. We've all seen them. Haven't seen one super recently, maybe in the last 5 years.
I used to see them all the time, right? All the time.
When you were a kid, all the time.
In your backyard furniture, always. The barbecues full of them.
Oh, and they're scary. And they say like the smaller they are, the smaller the dot is or whatever, or I don't know if it's small the dot or something or small, but generally the smaller one, the one that you go, oh no, that's not a big spider. They're the ones that'll get you, and the big spiders are okay.
I haven't heard that one. I don't like that. I haven't heard that one. Small dogs.
Big dog. Sometimes they're really chill.
Sometimes. All right. Yeah. You can have the big spiders. I'll have the small ones.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the spiders that are big enough to wrap around your face. Harmless. Harmless.
So was this a huntsman that was on your arm? No.
No, this was a black spider.
A black spider of what coin? What size coin?
Okay.
Was it a 10-cent piece?
Yeah. So I've got a bottle cap on my sleeve right now, and it's kind of as big as a bottle cap.
Yeah, that's big enough. That's big enough. Man, huntsmans freak the shit out of me.
Oh, they're just scary to look at. They're all hairy.
Anything that's hairy, and they're so like gangly. Like I don't even like lanky people.
But the spider, they never get the same treatment as a puppy, They're never going to get the same treatment as a puppy.
They've never been given a chance, have they?
No. Well, some people give them a chance. Some people are avid spider.
Not many. Not your run of the mill. I'd say 99. of people, if they see a spider on the floor, there's maybe not in the house, but outside. Actually, they're not going to step on it, are they? That's a bit weird.
Sometimes, but other times, just be scared. They'll be scared of it.
Yeah, you're always scared. But you don't. The reason there's something built into our subconscious, right? They trigger. They trigger fear.
Oh, I think that's more culture than.
Is it?
Physiologically, I think it's a culture thing. Yeah. Because in Australia, everyone gets told at a pretty young age, "Oh, you get bitten by a redback spider, you're dead." And the stats on people dying from spider bites and snake bites and stuff is actually really low. We've talked about it before. But it still doesn't get rid of the fear. The fear is still there.
Yeah, my hiking mate brought a snake bite kit with him on the walk, which I thought was a little bit overkill, but it probably makes sense if you're going to be, hours walk away from, I don't know, help.
Yeah, and if you look at a map of where snakes are in Australia, it's usually the places where we don't hang out a lot.
Yeah. But hoping not to see any snakes or spiders on the ridge walk, but it is quite elevated, and I always think if I was a snake, I would slide downhill.
Really? What about if he wants to bask in the sun?
He can do that at the bottom in the valley. Like, I don't know if he needs to be right.
Shade.
Yeah, maybe actually that's a good point. But I'll tell you if there's more or less. I'll tell you if I see any snakes.
Well, surely someone on the reviews would say, bring a snake bite kit if it was notorious for it. I'm sure it's not.
Well, even on the Bilman track, that one of the frequently asked questions is, are there snakes? And their response is, oh, yes, you will see snakes.
You will see snakes,
they said. You will see snakes. I didn't see any snakes, but I think they're talking about, people do the whole of the track over 40 days.
Yeah, you're going to see everything.
You're going to see the lot, right?
Yeah.
One day. It's actually a really good hike. Like if you look by world standards. There's a couple of events like the Pacific. Like
walking's a good activity, It's a good activity.
And it was actually way more picturesque and beautiful than I thought it was going to be. And also, as I said, way more undulating. I thought it would just be like Perth and really flat. But once you get over the escarpment, yeah, it's up and down.
Okay, here we go.
Up and down all the way.
But it's no Tour de France going through Lourdes picturesque, is it?
No, and it's not that kind of elevation either, that's for sure.
Right, so they're different level. They're different picturesqueness.
Actually, I came across some holy stuff today. You know how we were enjoying discussing Lourdes and everything else?
Yes.
It's about a pope, actually.
Oh, yeah? Famous one?
Well, I'd never heard of him, right? But I was a little bit curious. There was a BBC article that said the headline is 33-day smiling Pope John Paul I beatified at the Vatican.
Oh, beatified. So he became...
Is it beatified?
He got canonized. He's been made into a saint. Is that right?
Well, that's what I was wondering what that is. Is it beautified? There's no U here. It's just beatified, like BEATIFIED.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had it read out to me, I guess, but...
No, I'm going to say beatified.
Oh, he's been beatified.
He's been beatified, right? So I don't know. It may be beautified, but the beautified sounds so like glamorous. I don't know.
Is that the step before getting canonized and becoming a saint, or is it one and the same?
Oh, look, that is the question, and I will tell you in a second because that led me to the next BBC article that was called "How Does Someone Become a Saint?" Because I was really confused by it when I was reading it. But get this,
I'm pretty sure that one of the ways that you have to prove your saintness is you have to perform miracles.
You have to perform miracles. You're quite right. You have to have at least one miracle, but then that's to get beatified, and then to be canonized. need a second miracle.
Oh, 2 miracles.
You need 2
So
miracles.
is it a
You
miracle
have to
while
prove it.
alive and a miracle after life, or is it 2 miracles at any time?
Oh, well, let's talk about becoming a saint very quickly. The first step, you have to wait 5 years after they die.
Okay.
The process to make someone a saint can't formally start until 5 years after their death,
Right.
but the Pope can waive this period because the Pope does what he wants, right?
Yeah, man.
The current Pope
Yeah.
doesn't have to follow the rules.
Ballin'.
Bowling. Yeah, he's the ultimate bowler. The rules do not apply to him. It says John Paul II dispensed with the 5-year period for Mother Teresa and beginning the process in 99, 2 years after her death.
Wow. She was fast-tracked.
She was fast-tracked. And I mentioned her in the last episode in passing.
Yes.
I'd heard some horrible things about her. I don't know if they're true. We probably have to look into that, but put that in the to run to ground pile for another day.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the first thing. You have to wait a period of time. The second thing is to become a servant of God. And what that means...
What is that? I would have thought you'd already done that with the death bit or the life bit.
Well, what happens is the bishop of the local diocese where the person died opens an investigation into the individual to see whether they lived their lives with sufficient holiness and virtue to be considered for sainthood.
So they do a background check 5 years after you're dead.
Yeah, they need evidence that you were holy.
Good guy.
Yeah. So evidence is gathered on the person's life, deeds, and they get witness testimonies and things. And then once the case is accepted for consideration, the individual is called a servant of God at that point. Step 2 completed.
After the background check's done, you're a servant of God.
Yeah, after they clear them.
Good.
Okay, but you can't just be a servant of God. Step 3, show proof of a life of heroic virtue.
Show proof?
You got to prove this shit. The Congregation for the Causes of Saints scrutinizes the evidence of the candidate's holiness, work, and signs that people have been drawn to prayer through their example.
Oh, okay. So that's now a qualification as well.
You have to draw people in to pray, to prayer.
Okay.
And then if the Pope decides the person lived a life of heroic virtue,
yes,
they're called venerable. And that's step 3. You have to become venerable. So step 2, what was that? You have to become a servant of God. You have to do some things.
Check, yep.
And then you get called a servant of God. And after a while, you get called venerable if you
so that's
live a life of heroic virtue.
Yep.
Sounds like all just wanky terminology to me.
Well, when you're canonizing someone, you got to make sure you're canonizing the right person, don't you?
That's true. You do have to do some background checks, maybe a verification of identity.
Yep. Maybe that should be a new one. Maybe it should be 100 points of ID.
100 points. That should be step 1.
Step 1.
Is the person who they say they are.
Yeah.
Step 4, verified miracles.
Oh, okay. So you've done all that. You're venerable. Now we're ready for the miracles. All right, good.
Venerable. Now, to reach the stage of beatification,
yes,
a miracle needs to be attributed to prayers made to the individual after their death. So you have to, from the grave, you have to encourage people to pray.
Answer prayers, yeah.
And because of the prayers, somehow you've done some things. So
so just before you leave them, because you'd come to them maybe in a dream or something, you'd be like, "Hey, it's me. It's Mother Teresa. I totally did the whole thing. I did it. I did it for you. Did that thing. Make sure you tell them it was me.
Tell everyone. Tell everyone." So it says the prayers being granted are seen as proof that the individual is already in heaven. Like you're saying.
Oh, okay. Because they don't want some Satan spawn to be canonized. They want to make sure that they're in heaven.
Can you do miracles from hell? I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, but obviously not. They think that proves you're in heaven. But if you've lived a life of heroic virtue, you're venerable, you're a servant of God. Look, I think we've done enough background check. You're going to heaven. Like there's been a huge mistake. There's been a huge mistake if not.
What do you mean? I'm venerable. It says here on this piece of paper, venerable. So what constitutes a miracle then? What was John Paul I's miracle?
I will tell you. So incidents need to be verified by evidence before they accepted as miracles.
I like it. Evidence.
And for example, I'll talk about John Paul I, but it says here that in the case of John Paul II, Vatican experts examined the medical evidence for an allegedly miraculous cure from Parkinson's disease of a 49-year-old French nun, Sister Mary Simon Pierre Normand.
And she was praying to Pope John I, who was verified to be in heaven at the time.
Yes, he was venerable. So she was praying to him after his death. Then her sudden cure had no logical medical explanation, the Vatican says. Well, and then after beatification, that means you've been beatified. Yeah, and then the candidate is given the title blessed.
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 Cool title.
Full title. So you go venerable. So you go servant of God.
Yeah.
Venerable when you've done enough heroic virtue.
Yeah. No, first you go dead. You go dead.
You go dead. You got to die.
Dead. Background check. Venerable. Miracle 1.
Beatified. And then you're blessed.
Yeah.
But there's a loophole. There's always a loophole.
What do you mean there's a loophole? You can get in without having a miracle?
You can be beatified without doing a miracle.
What?
If you die for your faith. If you're a martyr.
Oh, okay. So you've already done that. They just have that box already checked, then they do the other ones. Background check, venerable, and we already know the other one.
To get blessed. It's a backdoor blessing.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
So you get beatified without a miracle.
Can I just say one thing real quick? If the qualifications for sainthood are all the things we've mentioned, being blessed, now being another component, being blessed.
Yes.
And you don't get the second miracle, meaning you cannot be considered for sainthood. Right?
Yeah.
That means that your miracles, they work. Yeah, they worked.
Miracle,
we know they work. We've confirmed that it works, that you did it.
You got to do it twice. It's like a kick.
Yeah, but nobody has done it. You haven't done it since. You only did it once.
Yeah, and you could have just gotten lucky with that one miracle from beyond the grave. It's the kickflip situation. You've got to do it twice. You've got to do it twice to prove that you can do it.
No, wow. But what I'm saying, if you do it once and you're blessed, it's a big deal.
Well, I think Mother Teresa, I think, is stuck as being blessed. I don't think she's been canonized.
So not enough people are praying to her.
She needs to pull off the final step, and that's canonization.
Yeah.
So that's declaring the deceased person a saint. And to reach that stage, a second miracle normally needs to be attributed to the prayers made to the candidate after they've been beatified.
Yeah.
But the martyr only needs the one. As I said, the martyr can die and they're blessed. They can be blessed.
And then they just have to do one miracle.
They just have to pull off one kickflip.
Yeah.
And they're in.
Wow. Hey, thanks for that bottle of holy water you brought me back from Lourdes.
My pleasure. There's 2 miracles in that one, so that could take you all the way to sainthood.
I was having a think about it. I'm sort of thinking about drinking it.
Just in one go?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
What, with ice, cordial, or are you just going to go natural?
Yeah, straight out of the bottle, straight out of the Mary effigy.
Look, I don't know whether that's a good idea or not. Are you going to try and, are you trying to what are you trying to pull off with this stunt?
I'm decided to keep it quite general.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask for anything. I'm just going to drink it and think happy thoughts, right? And there's two possible outcomes, and they're both great.
Hydration.
Number one, I feel fine. Nothing happens, but I feel fine.
Yeah.
Number two, I don't feel fine. Can you imagine getting sick from holy water from the grotto of Our Lady?
Does that mean you're a vampire or something?
What do you mean? If I drink holy water in it? No. If I was a
If you
vampire,
get sick,
depending
you're
on
a
the law.
monster.
What do you mean?
You're
I'm
a monster. If you get holy
no,
water, I've seen enough of these.
the water is unsafe to drink.
No, it means you're a monster.
No, because if I was a monster, it would burn the skin. If you poured it on my skin, I'd burn. I wouldn't be able to drink it. It would just. Yeah, you're right. It would burn my whole.
So you're trying to declare the Lourdes fountain unsafe, unfit for drinking.
I'm just doing my due diligence, right? Either it works and there's miracles, or if in the event I didn't feel well, I can be like, yeah, I drank from the spring of Our Lady in Lourdes, and I didn't feel very good afterwards.
Mate, I think it's been tested. I think it's tried and proven. It's doing miracles. No one's dying. If it
are people drinking it?
Oh, surely, all the time. I don't know what you're supposed to do with it. Do you spray it on people? Is it? Don't they do that in church? They like flick water on you.
Yeah, there's the flick. There's the one where what the priest would like dip his fingers in a cup of holy water and then just flick you in the face.
It's before COVID, right?
Yeah.
Since COVID, they had to. I wonder how many.
They'd still be doing all that, man.
Yeah,
got to do the flickies, man. There would have been riots at the churches of people just going, man, that was rubbish without the bloody flickies in the face.
Yeah, it's my favourite part, the splashing of the water.
Yep.
But that's the thing. It's not just any water; it's holy water. Okay, so this John Paul. So he led the Roman Catholic Church for 33 days in 78.
Yep.
And he's just been beatified. This was like within the week.
What, this week?
Yep. He's been beatified. So he's done a miracle. Whoa. So he's been 5 years.
Wow.
He's had a life of heroic virtue.
Big congrats.
He was pronounced venerable at some point.
Wow. What a guy.
He's done the miracle. I forget the terminology. And then he became venerable. He was venerable for a while. Wait, how do you become venerable? Or they sort of scrutinized him.
Once you do a miracle, you're blessed.
Oh, geez, there's so many things to think about. Okay, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yep. So yeah, you're right. He's blessed right now. You're quite right. Yeah, he's blessed.
Yeah. Wow.
So apparently it's a big deal. Thousands gathered in St. Peter's Square for a ceremony. Apparently these things get really big. I want to see a photo of someone getting canonized. Canonized ceremony.
What do you mean a photo of someone getting canonized? They're not there.
No, they're not there, but there's celebrations.
Yes. Well, how many saints have there been in our lifetime? Like one?
Good question. I don't know. Maybe we should go in for the next canonization. So after he's going to get, if there's one more miracle, he'll get canonized. So the miracle he performed, or in his name, was last year. He was credited. So the current Pope Francis credited the late Pope John Paul with the miracle cure of an Argentine girl. I don't really have any more other than that. So he was only in for 33 days as the Pope, which is quite unfortunate.
He died, did he?
He died of a heart attack. But apparently it says here that there's lots of conspiracy theories due to differing accounts. He was found. The Vatican says he was found by two dead nuns. But
by two dead nuns? How do they get found by two dead nuns?
He was found by two dead nuns. So the nuns walked in on him dead.
Yeah. Two dead nuns walked into a room.
Oh, sorry. Did I say found dead by two nuns? Or
You said
found by two
found
dead
by
nuns?
two dead nuns. So I'm picturing these two dead nuns over the corpse of John Paul I.
That would
Just going,
lead to controversy. That would lead to a lot of controversy.
yeah, if there was multiple bodies in the room, yeah, totally.
Yeah, and so that miracle was attributed to prayers to him.
And the Vacuous perspective would like to send a big heartfelt congratulations to John Paul I on the first of what we hope is many miracles. And onwards to sainthood, we'll see you there.
It would be quite a big deal. If he's only in for 33 days and he gets made a saint, that would be quite a performance.
Well, I think if you've become the Pope, right, I think venerable status has already been attained, right? We're just waiting on a miracle. You just got to get the prayers up. Just got to get enough prayers up.
Yeah, you're probably right. So it says
quality.
here in the last
Send them all up.
you got to, yeah. I mean, you got to encourage people, right?
Like, let's say I wanted to book a trip to Rome, right? I'm interested to go to Rome, so I want to book a time. I'll ring up the Vatican tomorrow and say, "G'day, name's Aiden. I'm in the book. Check it." Right? Or, yeah, my name's in the book. Check it. Yeah. It is in the book, by the way. Everyone's name's in the book. I had a miracle that I would like to say was John Paul I's second miracle. Thus, canonized time. Thus, make the trip double hit. I can go to the canonized parade thing, the big saint parade,
and you can be the living proof of the second miracle.
And what I'm trying to figure out is what's the lowest miracle they will
accept.
With.
Yeah.
Because if I just go, yeah, man, my shoulder's been playing up lately, and now it's not anymore. So is that a miracle? Can we go with that?
Is the WD-40 in the front door the miracle that we need?
Yeah. I mean, they'd ask for proof. They need proof and stuff. You'd have to show them how bad the door was before, and I reckon it would get up.
If they saw how bad it was and how good it is now, yeah, they certainly would. Just having a quick look to see if there's what the conspiracy is around his death. It says here that in the last 1,000 years, just 8 popes have been made saints. I don't know if anyone else has been made a saint. Do you pretty much have to be a pope other than? I mean,
Mother Teresa, right?
Yeah, but she's not a saint.
One miracle away, though.
Yeah, but
so close.
She's done all the hard work, hasn't she? She just needs to pull out one more cat out of the bag. So what do you know about Mother Teresa? What's your vacuous perspective on her?
Yeah, I mean, I heard she wasn't great. I heard she was all about bringing as many people to the church as possible, and sort of the hospital thing wasn't really run very well. It was just a bit of a I don't know a hell of a lot about it. I just know there is a bit of contention about whether or not she's worthy of this of being beatified or petrified or beautified. I don't know.
I see. Christopher Hitchens has a bit of a problem with her. That's right.
Yeah, and I would have seen some of the stuff Hitchens did for sure.
Right. I just went straight to criticism, which isn't really fair. But
no, you just skipped over like her entire life. If it was really great, and they did the background checks and everything, and it all checked out, like she's basically a saint already. And then you just go straight to worst things that ever happened to this person or whatever. You just scroll down to that. There's all these achievements. You just go, yeah. Get to the bit where you called someone a bad word.
Yeah, but I just want to see what the worst of it is, just straight to the dirty laundry.
Totally. Let's have it.
It's just Christopher Hitchens saying that she was a bit of a dog.
Yeah, I think that would have been enough for me. I'm like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So, called to present evidence opposing Mother Teresa's beatification and canonization. He was called by the Holy See.
Who was called by the Holy See?
Hitchens.
Yeah, what does that mean? They called him up and said, you need to come in for a sit down.
I think he was.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, he's one of the witnesses that they wanted someone from the other side of the table to give some dirty laundry on her, I think, or what his problem was with her. So maybe they listened to both sides. Sexual abuse allegations.
Mother Teresa?
Yeah. Wait, that could be someone. Look, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'd seen some stuff that, Christopher Hitchens had done, but I haven't seen a documentary, Hell's Angel. But
Okay, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
Is it about Mother Teresa?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's going on the watch list.
Yeah, Mother
We'll come
Teresa.
back with an even more vacuous perspective on it.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's check that out.
Yeah, we will. That's easy.
Try and remind me during the week. Yeah. So no, I'm fascinated by all this this Pope stuff now. So what was, I guess the saints and the popes and everything like that. So the Pope is supposed to have a direct line to God. Is that right? Direct. So he talks to God. The Pope is the only one?
Yes.
Why is that?
It's pretty smart. It's a pretty smart way to do it.
Because no one can call you a liar because you're the authority.
So what happens is that you're elected Pope and you don't know what you're doing because it's day one. It's like any job. It's day one. And they go, okay, welcome to your office, Mr. Pope, and you've got a beautiful overlook of St. Peter's Square. And they shut the doors and you just go, hello, hello.
Pick up the red telephone.
He goes, hello, and, maybe nothing happens, right? But a few hours pass, and maybe he just sat there and focused for a while. Maybe he just sat there and got into a deep state of relaxation or something, right? Opens the door, and the guy's there. How you going? He goes, yep, good. Just had a chat to God. Did you? Yep, I did. Good chat. He's the only one who knows. It's a beautiful way to do it. It's a good way to do it.
But what about first day in the job? You're the Pope. You believe you believe that you're going to have the one with the direct communication with God. You've gone through the system. You're the man. You're in the hot seat, and then you get in the hot seat, and then you go, all right, how do I do this? How do I communicate? Like, how do I start up this convo?
Dialogue, yes.
Dialogue, and then it doesn't happen. And then you say to someone, hey, like, what the phone doesn't work. Like, I can't get him on the other line. I don't know what's going on. And they go, you didn't believe that bullshit, do you? Like, what? That would crush you as the Pope. You'd be like, I've been slaving away my whole life trying to perform.
I had my first sort of discussion planned for him and what it was going to be like. I had all my notes.
Update him on the news, the things because the Pope, before he falls off the perch, the previous one, he wasn't probably communicating very well with God.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't. No, well, he's busy dying.
Right. He only had 30 days.
He doesn't have like, it's exhausting having a conversation with someone.
Maybe that's what
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted right now.
Maybe he was chatting to God, on the 30th night, and God's like, are you ready, man? Because we're going for an all-nighter because you're literally the only person I talk to. So we're chatting tonight, bro. And he was 3 days in to this chat with God, and they're both fucking wrecked, right? And he says, you know what, I'll just come up and we'll finish the chat in person if you like. I'll come up. I'm coming up.
Maybe he asked to be assumpted.
Well, you get assumpted with your body with you usually. And by the way, the word is assumed, but we have invented and kept it going. The assumpted, I don't mind it. We have assumptions. It's all good. But no, he can't be assumed into heaven sans body because that's just regular Catholic death at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I may have done the wrong career choice. I could have been the Pope.
Well, you want that direct line?
I guess so. But
you've got more chance of winning the lottery than becoming a saint.
Yeah, I guess you're 100% right. There's only been 8 in the last 1,000 years. But what would you rather, being a saint or winning the lottery?
The lotto.
Yeah, 100%.
The other stat that comes up is you could get struck by lightning twice.
Hey, but yeah, true.
Struck by lightning twice and canonized is the same thing.
No, you could. Is it?
Yeah, same odds.
I think being struck by lightning isn't as rare as you'd think.
Yeah.
It's like one. What's the probability of happening once and times it by it again? But
well, yeah. But do you know anyone who's been struck by lightning?
I don't. It sounds painful.
I don't think I do know anyone.
How unlikely is it to kill you?
I don't think it. For some reason, it's not bad. For some reason, I don't get it. Is it that bad? I just it could be really bad. But
will I die if I am struck by lightning?
All right, we're answering the big questions tonight.
Oh, cardiac arrest.
Yeah. Maybe Pope John I got struck by lightning.
It's not giving me probabilities, but yeah. Geez, that would be intense, wouldn't it? Absolutely intense. I'm like tingling just thinking about it.
Well, yeah, because you've probably been close to lightning.
It's loud.
It's very loud.
Super loud. We didn't talk about this. I was away when it happened. This is even more unlikely than getting struck by lightning. Oh, I don't know. Being stabbed is more likely, but the Salman Rushdie incident.
Yeah. Okay.
So, old mate just jumps up on stage, stabs him in the neck. I heard that it may have even got him in the eye.
Yeah. Right.
Couple of. I think he's okay though, right? I haven't heard anything more about it. I heard a spokesman for him said that he was recovering relatively happily.
Oh, well. So it's an assassination attempt.
Another one. He's been up against it for a while, right?
Yeah, of course.
I remember hearing his name ages ago. I didn't really know what he had done, but his name's always been sort of kicked around as he's a bit of a wanted man.
Mm.
He's got the old fatwa.
Yeah. Got one of them.
So what the fatwa is just you're getting called out by.
It's almost like a death sentence, right?
So it's an Islamic.
A fatwa calling for his death was issued in 1988. Became the subject of several assassination attempts and death threats. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was all over a book, right?
Yep.
Satanic verses. I was thinking about reading it, but I don't think I'll find it as enjoyable as. It's probably not going to be as saucy as the real life story.
Oh yeah.
Because I hear that there was a film that was made about Salman Rushdie, or at least he featured in it. It was made by Pakistan, I think, or Iran. It was one of a country that was upset with him, and it was at least I don't know if it was made by them. It was hugely popular. I think it was in Pakistan. It was hugely popular, but it got banned in the UK because it was potentially defamatory towards Salman Rushdie in the way it portrayed him. And he said, "I don't care. I'm not going to sue, so you can show it. Go for it." I think they did. It just wasn't successful. But he said he thought it was comical because in one of the scenes, he's torturing a Islamic man by reading passages from the satanic verses to him.
Yeah.
Man. Torturing someone just by reading a book to them. It's like a bedtime story.
Yeah.
So you can't do anything. Once you get labelled, that's the end of it.
I don't know if that's the end of it.
Can Can you beg for forgiveness, and they revoke the fatwa? Like if you,
I think they'd have
it's like the opposite end of the spectrum of being canonized.
They'll need like a full renouncement of all of you, your evils and stuff.
Yeah, that's probably quite a. Once they get to that point, they're probably very upset with you.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to love you up after that. But something else that happened in the history books, on this day, or in this week rather,
this week,
an estimated 2.5 billion people watched the funeral of Diana, Princess of Wales.
What, we just ticked over to 2.5 bill?
An estimated 2.5 billion people watched it in 1997.
Oh, I thought you were saying that something that happened this week.
No, it happened this week in 1997.
2.5 billion. Whoa.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Wow. I always remember the death of Diana. Everyone knows where they were when JFK was shot, if they were alive. Everyone knows where they were when man first walked on the moon in our parents' era. And we all know where we were, Princess Diana and September 11, right?
Yes.
More or less. I was pretty young when it happened. I was only 11 years old when Diana died. I was at T-ball practice and we were lined up and someone just taught me what the word fuck meant.
Big day for you.
Yeah, it was a huge day for me. And after that, I found out Diana died.
So he taught you what the word fuck meant?
Yeah, he meant he said it means this.
Yeah, right. Brutal.
And we all had a bit of a giggle in the line, and then Princess Diana was dead. But I'll always remember one because of the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. I don't remember what I was doing when Princess Diana died. I remember my mum being like pretty upset by it, but I thought it was a little bit far removed, a bit remote to be worried about as an Australian. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be. I just remember being surprised. I was like, oh man, it's a princess in the UK. I was like, I just didn't think it was.
Yeah, but we didn't know the storyline back then.
No.
We weren't following the new idea cover to cover. The next one, because during the time that she died, she was actually pretty much out of the royal family.
Yeah, she was on the outer a little bit, wasn't she?
She wasn't with Charles anymore. She was with a new dude.
Mm-hmm.
And they were apparently just about to sort of announce their engagement.
Right.
And then they both died in the crash.
That's rife for a conspiracy theory. I think I've seen one or two about that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are they? Because the official story is a car crash. They were getting chased by paparazzi, and the driver
lost control.
Yeah. Okay.
There was I think there was a bit of, because he got charged with unlawful killing or something.
He died?
I think. The driver. No, the driver. He lived, right?
The driver lived?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay.
The initial French judicial investigation concluded that the crash was caused by Paul's intoxication, reckless driving, speeding, and the effects of prescription drugs.
Oh.
In February 1998, Mohammed Al Fayed, which is the father of the guy who was in the car with Diana, publicly said the crash, which killed his son, had been planned and accused MI6 and the Duke of Edinburgh, that's Prince Philip.
His father came out and said that.
Yeah, who's like a big deal. He owns a big shopping chain in the UK. What's Harrods? He owns Harrods.
Whoa.
And so the father said the crash, had been planned and accused MI6, so spy, their secret intelligence.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
An inquest started in London and in 2004 and continued in 2007 and 2008, attributed the crash to grossly negligent driving by Paul and to the pursuing paparazzi who forced Paul to speed into the tunnel. The jury returned a verdict of unlawful killing in 2008.
Okay.
On the day after the final verdict of the inquest, Al Fayed announced that he would end his 10-year campaign to establish that the tragedy was murder, and he said he did so for the sake of Diana's children.
Okay. Just gave up
Wow.
on it. Yeah.
That is pretty hectic.
Geez, you don't want that cloud hanging over the whole situation. That certainly muddies the waters. Yeah, I remember
Crazy,
hearing
man.
something like that. That it sounds like a pretty bad car crash. So I assume there's no real footage of. So it happened in a tunnel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, there's nothing to look at really.
No. Yeah. Okay.
But it's just one of those things that's rife for conspiracy now because, like always, because.
Well, there is some. I mean, yeah. Unless you have even then, unless you have a video of what happens exactly, then people will have ideas that they'll make up their own story to get to the same
That's
result.
true. But we're just talking about last week about the moon landing stuff. We got footage of that. Some of it's faked here on Earth, just for marketing purposes, but not the main one. Not the main one.
Not the main one. Not the main one.
So I think they've delayed it again. They were meant to launch Artemis on Saturday. They've done it. They've delayed it again.
I was going to ask you, your girl hasn't gone up yet.
But here's the thing. I think they've got to wait for a new launch window. So they're probably going to wait a month,
Yeah, okay.
October,
I heard it was because it was a long weekend on the weekend. I think it was supposed to be up on Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday, yeah.
Because it was a long weekend, they were expecting a crowd of 400,000.
Wow. It's pretty amazing. This isn't even the manned mission,
I know. That's a small city, man. Like apparently that's the population of New Orleans or Tampa.
Yeah, right.
But it lends itself to be viewed, right? Because you all just be on the ground around it, wherever you want.
Yep.
And the rocket goes up. Everyone gets a good look at it. It's perfect.
It's genius. Plus, it's history. Like when man does walk on the moon again, that's going to be a big deal.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to see that. When do you reckon it's going to happen? When's Artemis 4? Is that the moon landing one going up?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon? Maybe a couple of years?
Should we have a moon landing party?
Yeah, a couple of years. They'll be streaming it live on Twitch.
Yeah. The SLS rocket that's going up, I think we touched on that's the most powerful rocket that has ever been launched.
Vehicle.
Yeah, that they haven't tested, that they've never actually sent up, but it's 98 meters tall.
Yep.
Now, have you heard much about the Starship vehicles that Elon's working on?
Yeah, they're big. We're launching them, right?
They're launching those. They're doing heaps of tests on those.
That they're sending up NASA shit on, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're using those right now for the NASA stuff. They're at least working on the prototypes of the Starships because these are the ones that are going to allow the colonization of Mars.
Yeah, but I thought we'd be launching from the moon, so you got to be able to build it there, right?
I don't know if we are launching from the moon. I know that you're quite right that the aim of Artemis program is to establish a permanent, sustainable human presence on the moon by the end of this decade. But it doesn't say that the aim is to launch things from there. I think that could be it. That could be it. That could be one thing they do. But the aim is just to establish a permanent, sustainable human presence.
Yep. Fair enough.
So the SLS, is 98 meters, and it looks large in the pictures or whatever, but the Starship, the Starship 1.0 is the one that they're doing lots of testing recently. I think there was one like in June was the first time they did the Starship 1.0. That thing is 130 meters tall, taller than the Statue of Liberty. Dwarfs the SLS, dwarfs the Apollo crafts, which were obviously smaller than the SLS.
Yeah.
It
Is
has.
it a single stage? Is it multiple staged?
I don't know.
It's a 2-stage to orbit launch vehicle. There you go. Super heavy booster stage and a second stage. So the bottom would come out, and you can see it in some of the pictures that the top looks different to the bottom. So it's 2 stages.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
You know how I was talking about the James Webb Space Telescope had to go up in something that had a diameter of what was the diameter? I think it was 5 meters in diameter, or around that, 5 or 6 meters. And they had to fold it up like origami so it can fit in the biggest rocket that they have that has proven to be able to launch.
Crazy. But here's something crazy, man.
Yeah.
The function of Starship, it's got a bunch of clickable links. Suborbital space flight, fine. Orbital space flight, fine. Interplanetary space flight.
That's what I'm talking about. This is the one that goes to Mars. This takes huge.
Yeah, I know, but the fact that we're talking about interplanetary space flight machines, rockets that they're building.
Yeah.
That's next level, man.
Well, the 1.0 is 10 meters in diameter, so that's a huge. And if you think about the diameter being double, the volume is like, what's the ratio of diameter to volume? It's like way bigger. Like we're creating huge amounts of volume to stuff.
1,000 meters.
Yeah. And then the Starship 2.0 is being worked on. Obviously, the Starship 1.0 needs to get sorted out. But the 2.0 is 8 times larger in volume.
No.
240 meters tall.
No way.
So it's taller, or it's close to the Eiffel Tower. It's 18 meters in diameter.
Why do you need that much?
Because we're sending hundreds of people to Mars. Hundreds. And gear. We need gear. You need lots of gear.
We're not reusing this, are we?
No. So are we going to Mars in our lifetime? Like, are we going to see...
Well, you and me going to Mars?
Well, we're not. I'm not. You can go.
What do you mean? You're not coming?
I'm not going. You're not going.
I'm not going.
You could do the podcast from Mars. That would be... I think we'd have some delay issues.
Yeah, no, we would. Unless they've figured that out as well. Like if there's instant, so you got quantumly entangled computers talking to each other on Mars, because that's one of the big applications of quantum entanglement, is the ability to transmit instantly across any distance.
You're right. Quantum computers, would be fine. So
if we were using quantum computers, I'd be able to play video games with people back on Earth with a 0 ping. Pretty exciting.
But the Starship, you should see. I think Starship 1.0 blew up on the launch pad. I think went up in June.
It has done that occasionally. Yeah, build the bigger one.
That's necessary. Failing is a necessary
bigger one. Yeah, we just found 999 ones that wouldn't not explode. You're not getting on the first ship though. You're not getting on Starship 1 non-stop to Mars. No. I'm just having a quick look at this article here. All Starlink missions. So you know how SpaceX are launching those Starlink satellites that we talked about, up to 50,000 of them. All Starlink missions to date have been launched atop SpaceX's workhorse, the Falcon 9. That could change next year. The company is working to get its next generation space flight system, a huge rocket ship combo known as Starship, up and running in the near future. So they're going to use Starship to launch the satellites?
Satellites, yeah. Because at the moment they do for example, they've done 39 launches this year and 25 of them have been purely dedicated to launching Starlink satellites, and they do 50 in a go. So if you get that big boy up there, you could probably quadruple it, I guess. And it says Starship is crucial to SpaceX's plans. The fully reusable vehicle will be cost-effective enough to make Mars colonization economically feasible, Musk has said. And SpaceX will rely on the giant rocket to loft its big and bulky Starlink version 2 satellites, which will be capable of beaming services directly to smartphones.
Okay, here we go.
I've heard that the next generation of these is going to make it will make it so there's no dead zones. Like, in the middle of Australia where you got SOS only, there'll be no dead zones.
How?
Because the satellites cover all the service comes from directly from satellites. So it's like everyone's got a sat phone, I guess.
You'd have to be a SpaceX guy though, member.
No, it'll be general. It would be like Telstra.
What do you mean?
They'll just
how does he
farm
make
it
money
out
of that?
They'll sell the rights to someone, and Telstra will buy it, and then we'll all be like,
I see. Now we're doing it. We're starting small. We're going to the moon. It's 237,000 kilometers away. But then we're going to Mars, 139 million kilometers away.
Yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it? I heard the other day that the moon is 950 times the distance to the International Space Station. So, you think about the International Space Station be like,
quite high,
kind of far away, but
it's not that far away, is it?
Yeah, no.
What is low? What's the lowest altitude you can orbit?
100 kilometers.
Yeah,
at the beginning of space. That
could be as low as 160 kilometers above Earth, and it normally ends at less than 1,000.
Also, it moves around. Man, we want to talk about things that are far away. Voyager 1, 18 billion kilometers from the sun.
What do you mean? 18 billion kilometers from what?
The sun. Voyager 1. That
the sun as a.
You do that when you're leaving the solar system. Mm-hmm. That's your point of reference. That it's because it's more fixed than the planets.
Yeah, true. But it's still going to orbit. It's going to orbit the sun, right?
Well, it's in interstellar space. I think it's even out of the sun's effect. I think it's
gone.
Yeah, I think it's gone. It's gone.
So you think, like you talked about with aliens, we won't encounter the aliens. We'll encounter their technology. Someone's going to scoop that up in a few million years or something, or what? Is it gone? That'll be preserved in space, right?
Be preserved in space. Someone will find it one day and think that we're really antiquated, and we're like, no, we got like better rockets and stuff. I swear.
Yeah. We're not doing gold records. This is old now. We're way better.
What's on that gold record?
I believe that I think Sagan's on it.
Yeah, Sagan's on it. Yeah,
Sagan's on it.
That.
I think sounds, like the sounds of birds and stuff, is on it. There's classical music.
Classical music, yeah, a whale. I think there's like cultural things, like there's different languages, and it's like, what is it to be a human, or what is it to be from Earth? They got some animals and
Earth
music.
Sum up Earth on this gold record. We're going to shoot it into space.
Yeah, so those I didn't realize. So Voyager 1 was designed to explore Jupiter and Saturn.
Yeah, but it's gone.
Then it just kept going.
Yeah, then it's gone.
And Voyager 2 is the same. But then after Jupiter and Saturn, Voyager 1 prioritized Saturn's giant moon Titan, did a flyby. And Voyager 2 prioritized Neptune and Uranus, did a flyby on those.
And then it's gone.
And then it just kept going. And they didn't think it's like battery. I'm pretty sure it had a nuclear battery in it.
What?
Nuclear energy source. I think it was done in 1977. So I think it's.
Again, Clark, you've been told something about this, and it's not right, man. See, what's happened here is Voyager is a tactical nuclear weapon that was sent to take on another Stargate-level Apophis pyramid ship threat, and they masked it as a scientific program to study Jupiter. Sure, buddies. We know what you're really doing, which is what they did in the Stargate movie, is they sent the nuke back up to the mothership and utzed it. So, again, saved by a next...
We wait for it to get picked up by the mothership, and then once it's inside, we've got a Trojan horse situation.
Yeah, blow it. No, it's no, they probably were just collecting stuff for us. And then there's that. Voyage is the one that Sagan talks about, where they said, "Turn it around, let's get a shot of Earth, get it done off the backboard."
Was it? I can't remember if that was the one that did it. It probably was. It could have been.
Pale blue dot. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, was that taken by Voyager 1? I just sent you a link.
Yeah, this moon thing.
Yeah, you know how my brother, took those photos of the moon that I was how pumped about?
Yeah.
This image that I just sent you is done by an astrophotographer.
Is this the one that looks sort of orange? There's like bits of orange in there, like rust almost.
Well, I don't think so. Not in the one I'm looking at anyway. You could zoom in on it maybe. But this is the most detailed, it's a 174 megapixel shot of the moon. Mm-hmm. It took a year to complete. It's a combination of more than 200,000 images by one bloke and 50,000 by another dude. It is, you can zoom in on this bad boy, like, not actually what you say, open the original.
Didn't you say that you'd be able to see like launch vehicles and stuff? Or rovers and stuff?
Well, that's from, this is taken from the Earth.
Yeah.
The ones that do lunar, like if we have satellites that are orbiting the moon, things that have done, like I think it was there's like, we've had Chinese things and Indian craft go flybys of the moon. They've taken shots that there's enough granularity to suggest that that's what those things are.
Yeah.
But this photo this makes my brother's one look a bit silly. This thing's beautiful of the moon. Stunning.
Mm.
I reckon we should have it in our vacuous perspective. We got the moon in the background. We should get the old 174 megapixel version up there.
Yeah. I'm going to have to try and get that. Really zoom into it. It's great.
Yeah. So they've made my brother look silly because they came out with this one like just afterwards, just after my brother's one, but not too bad.
It's pretty amazing. Like I'm scrolling through the photos that they have on the cosmic background page. Yeah, and some of it looks really brown. You looking at the same thing as me? If you click on that link that you sent me, you see that? It says we're going here. For this image, I teamed up with fellow astrophotographer to create the most ridiculously detailed moon shot we could come up with. The result is 174 megapixels.
Yep. Yeah, it is quite rusty, isn't it?
There's a bit of rust going on.
But they're just nutty, right? Like when you like, that's crazy.
Wow, and that's taken from.
You can see just the impact sites. That's taken from, it's 200,000 shots and 50. I assume they like somehow. I don't know how they do it. They don't explain the compilation.
Small amounts and then stitch it all together.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there's some impact craters that hasn't it? Crazy. It has been peppered. So the moon is a quarter of the Earth's size. That's pretty huge.
It's made of cheese.
That's a lot of cheese as well. Like I don't really know how. Was it Bega? Who got the contract for that one? Because that.
Yeah, you got to mine that thing. Get the cheese out.
Can't land on it. This is obviously this is the face of the moon that always faces us. And I heard the other day actually that the reason for that is the moon is shaped a little bit like, not this obviously, but it's a bit oval. It's a little bit like a teardrop.
Yeah.
So because it's not perfectly round, gravity works on the heavier part, which is facing us, more than the lighter part on the other side. So it naturally orientates itself.
Sure.
It's fallen into this pattern of always. So it rotates at the same.
It was always a sticking
rate.
point for me that the moon was always facing us, and I go, that's amazing that the speed of its rotation is matching ours, so that it always faces us. And that way, the way you just said it makes a little bit more sense.
It does,
for sure.
right?
It does. And I'd never really heard that before. And I imagine because it is here, it's also elsewhere as well. So I'd say it's something that pops up in the universe occasionally.
Yeah, that's exactly right. When I heard that it's not uncommon for moons actually to face there, because they're actually inconsistent in their
bloody get some consistency in your bloody shape over there.
Because I mean, even the Earth isn't consistent. It's like wider at the equators than the poles, but yeah, apparently moons just often have one face of them. It's weird that we just don't have one face always facing the sun then, but I think our inconsistency is different. And also these seasons, like the fact that the Earth is on a tilt to the sun and it's rotating independently of its at a different rate that it's rotating around the sun. So the different parts of the Earth face the sun at different times. That is one of the things when they say what's critical to the development of life on another planet. So if you're looking at the probability of there being life, one of the things they consider is it has to be on an axis, because you need seasons, you need the change, you need that constant change between cooler and warmer to encourage life. Like that's, if you just have stable, I know it sounds unusual, but that inconsistency gives more opportunity.
Interesting.
Because you can see how life really has. Well, I mean, it's kind of like,
I just would have thought it'd be an adapt or die policy. There's bears out there that hibernate, right? They go to sleep for a while when the season's shit. When they're not down with the season, they just go to bed.
Yeah.
Wake up. They adapted to do that
because that was what they had to do. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, adapt or die. They're like, we hate the winter. It's like, well, fucking sleep, bro. And then,
I can't wait. Hey, well, bloody, when the James Webb Space Telescopes first went up, and we're talking about the, I think it's the, what was it? The particular sensor on it that they can use to look at exoplanets to see not just exoplanets, they can see what the composition of celestial bodies is just by looking at them and sort of analyzing the light. And we were saying, and they can do that very quickly. And we were saying how awesome it's going to be when how quickly they're going to be able to scan our surroundings for life. And
so let's say they've finished their report. They go, look, here's the top 6 that we think, this is the top 6 that we've looked at so far that we're like, this has all the bits and it's old enough. At what point are we sending Voyager 47 or whatever we're up to straight at that thing just to have a good look?
Yeah, true. Maybe you want it. Maybe you say this has all the conditions for life. Like we spotted that one really early on. It spotted the first exoplanet with carbon dioxide, significant amounts of carbon dioxide in its atmosphere. And send it.
Yep, send it. Send Voyager after it.
Turn it around, get that to a left turn.
Again, and if it's shit down there, or there's again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but like an Apophis level Stargate threat down there, okay, nuke them.
Well, we got built-in capabilities. Yeah. Don't send anything out of the solar system doesn't have a nuke equipped to it.
It's just doing their due diligence.
Man, I saw this photo the other day of a dude cuddling it like a little pug, the smallest nuclear bomb.
Oh. Oh, that's
it's a
lovely,
small
isn't it?
dog size. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Little nuke. Gosh.
Little baby one. It is actually quite cute. And I was also having a little look. I don't know what got me onto it. It was a list of the, like, basically a list of countries with nuclear bombs.
Mm.
But it has the amount of nuclear bombs.
Yeah. The numbers. How many have they got? How many have they got?
Yeah, but there's really, obviously there's two countries that stand above the rest.
Yeah, of course.
So there's not that many that have them, right? Like, obviously Australia doesn't.
We don't have any? Has
I'd have that.
UK's got some?
UK's got some. I would like to, if I was running for PM, I'd be like, we at least need one nuke.
Wow.
Right, let's get us on the map. Yeah, so North Korea's got
tests,
20.
but we haven't got any nukes.
Hey?
We've done nuclear tests on our soil, but we don't have any. We're just doing research for other people.
Yeah, we've got a nuclear facility to do like radioactive dyes and stuff like that, but we don't.
No, but they did nuke the centre of Australia a few times.
Oh yes, sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we're copping nukes. We're not even. So North Korea's got 20, Israel's got 80, India's got 130. This is the concerning one. Pakistan has 140.
Yep.
No, and then it's UK 215, China 270. France 300, USA 6,600.
What about Russia?
6,800. They got 200 spare, so they can go toe to toe. And then USA will come out and they'll be like, "Yeah, checkmate."
Gosh.
And last little bit of news for the week, because we are covering the news now. We're more of a news program. I see Liz Truss is going to be the UK PM, replacing Boris.
Bojo. Yep, old Bojo.
She's campaigned, I don't know if this is still her policy, but previously she's campaigned pretty hard for the decriminalisation of cannabis.
Yeah, she's also posted RIP Jimmy Savile on her Twitter.
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah,
when he died, and then 2 weeks after he was dead, he was found out to be one of the most heinous sexual predators in the United Kingdom.
Well, and then did she quickly remove that post? She had no idea, I assume?
Still up.
Still up?
Yeah, still up.
Okay.
But no. I know absolutely nothing about her. The news told me her name today.
Yeah, I know. I heard she'd been.
And I hadn't heard of her until then. So
neither had I. That's all in the news.
It's good stuff.
I reckon there'll be another big week of news this week.
Oh, you would hope so. Once the COVID story ran out, that ran for a couple of years. Then we didn't need any more stories. Now it's like, bring on the stories. Where's the stories at?
Yeah, I think there'll be something. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Hit us up on the email. Hit the sub button, and see you next time.
It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.